never thought a simple app notification could upend my entire life. There I was, hunched over my laptop in a bustling San Francisco coffee shop, chasing a deadline for my latest investigative piece on tech industry corruption, when my phone buzzed with a match on that trendy dating game app I downloaded on a whim. The profile picture showed a sharp-jawed guy with piercing blue eyes and a smile that screamed old money. Tate Harrington, heir to one of the Bay Area's biggest venture capital firms. Little did I know, this wasn't just a random swipe. It was the start of a meticulously orchestrated ploy. As a 28-year-old journalist scraping by on freelance gigs for outlets like The Chronicle, I prided myself on sniffing out deception. But Tate's charm was disarming from the first message. Saw you're into exposing corporate secrets. Fancy a game where we trade truths over coffee. Intrigued, I agreed to meet him that evening at a rooftop bar overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge, the city lights twinkling like distant stars. Our conversation flowed effortlessly. Tate leaned in, his tailored suit contrasting my rumpled button-down, as he shared stories of growing up in Pacific Heights, the pressure of family expectations, and his secret passion for poetry. I opened up about my Midwestern roots, moving to San Francisco to escape a conservative hometown that never quite accepted my sexuality. It's liberating here, I said, sipping my drink, but the grind never stops. He nodded empathetically, his hand brushing mine accidentally, or so I thought. As the night wore on, Tate suggested we play a truth game from the app, alternating questions to build trust. Mine were light, favorite books, dream vacations. His probed deeper. What's the biggest risk you've taken for love? I hesitated, recalling a painful breakup in college where I came out to my family, only to face rejection. Tate's eyes softened, and he shared his own story of hiding his bisexuality from his boardroom-bound father. By closing time, I felt a spark, genuine, electric. We parted with a promise to meet again, his parting words lingering. This city's full of illusions, but you're real, Jamie. The next few weeks blurred into a whirlwind. Tate texted constantly, sending articles I'd enjoy or memes about journalist life. Our second date was a picnic in Golden Gate Park, where he surprised me with my favorite Thai takeout. How'd you know? I asked. He winked. A little research, journalist style. I laughed it off, but a niggle of doubt crept in. Was this too perfect? As a reporter, I knew better than to ignore red flags, yet his vulnerability drew me in. One evening, after a long day covering a protest against housing inequality, I confided in my best friend, Mia, over beers at a Mission District dive bar. He's got everything: looks, money, brains. Why me? Mia, ever the skeptic, raised an eyebrow. Rich guys like games, Jamie. Just make sure it's not at your expense. Her words echoed as Tate invited me to his family's annual gala, a black tie affair at the De Young Museum. Come as my plus one, he said. No pressure, but I'd love to show you off. The event was a who's who of Silicon Valley elite CEOs, investors, politicians. I felt out of place in my rented tux, but Tate's arm around my waist steadied me. We danced under crystal chandeliers, his whispers making me forget the class divide. You're the only one here who sees through the facade, he murmured. That night, in his sleek loft, we shared our first kiss, tender, full of promise. But as I lay awake, staring at the city skyline, I wondered if this was love or just a well-played move. Doubts festered when I stumbled upon an old article about the Harrington family. Tate's father, Reginald, was embroiled in a scandal involving shady investments in startups that exploited user data. My current story touched on similar themes. Coincidence? I pushed it aside, focusing on the joy Tate brought. He supported my work, even connecting me with sources. Use my network, he urged. We're in this together. Yet cracks appeared. During a heated dinner debate about wealth inequality, Tate defended his family's empire. Not all rich people are villains, Jamie. Some of us want to change things from within. I countered with stories of evictions I'd covered, the human cost. Tension simmered, but we reconciled with apologies and embraces. His world was intoxicating, private jets to Napa for wine tastings, yacht parties on the bay. I started questioning my principles. Was I compromising for love? Mia pulled me aside one day. Dig into him, Jamie. Your gut's telling you something. Reluctantly, I did a background check using my journalist tools. What I found chilled me. Tate had a history of short-lived relationships with influencers and reporters, each ending amid whispers of ulterior motives. Was I next? Confrontation loomed, but I held back, addicted to the highs. The first major rift came during a weekend getaway to Big Sur. Tate had booked a cliffside cabin, complete with ocean views and a hot tub. We hiked redwood trails, hands intertwined, sharing dreams. I see a future with you, he confessed under the stars. My heart swelled, but on the drive back, his phone rang incessantly. Business calls about a merger. Family duty, he sighed, but his evasiveness irked me. Back in the city, my investigation heated up. I uncovered links between Harrington Ventures and a data mining firm accused of profiling LGBTQ+ users for targeted ads, exploiting vulnerabilities. This could be huge, I told Tate over dinner at his place. He paled slightly. Be careful, Jamie. Powerful people don't like being exposed. His warning felt like a threat, but I brushed it off as concern. Social conflicts escalated at a pride event in the Castro. We marched together, rainbow flags waving, but Tate's discomfort showed when activists chanted against corporate sponsors like his firm. They're hypocrites, he muttered. My dad donates millions to LGBTQ causes. I snapped. Donations don't erase exploitation. The argument spilled into the night, ending in silence. Reconciliation came with flowers and a note. Let's not let the world divide us. But the world did intrude. My editor assigned me to cover a lawsuit against Harrington Ventures for discriminatory practices, firing employees after they came out. Conflict of interest screamed in my mind. I can't write this, I told her. Why not? She pressed. Stammering, I admitted my relationship. She reassigned it, but the damage was done. Rumors spread in newsrooms about my compromised integrity. Tate sensed my turmoil. Talk to me, he urged during a quiet evening walk along the Embarcadero. Tears welled as I confessed the ethical dilemma. Your family's company is hurting people like us. He pulled me close. I'm not my father. I'm trying to fix it from inside. His sincerity swayed me, but doubt lingered. Was he using me to monitor leaks? A turning point came at a charity auction. Tate bid extravagantly on art, drawing applause, while I mingled with activists I'd interviewed. One, a trans advocate named Lee, whispered, "Watch out for Harrington. They fund anti-equality lobbies under the table." Shaken, I confronted Tate later. Is it true? He denied it vehemently. Lies from competitors. But his defensiveness fueled my suspicion. Our intimacy deepened emotionally, yet physically remained chaste. Kisses, cuddles, nothing more. It was my boundary, respected by him, but it highlighted our differences. He came from privilege where desires were indulged. I from caution born of past hurts. Mia's warnings grew urgent. He's playing you, Jamie. That app? He probably targeted you because of your work. I laughed it off, but investigated the app's algorithm. Turns out it allowed premium users like Tate to filter by profession, journalists included. Was our match engineered? The bombshell dropped when I received an anonymous email. Screenshots of Tate's internal memos discussing influencing media narratives through personal connections. My name was mentioned. Heart pounding, I stared at the evidence. Betrayal washed over me. Yet, love clung stubbornly. Maybe there was an explanation. We met at our favorite coffee shop, the place it all began. Explain this, I demanded, showing the emails. Tate's face crumpled. It's not what it looks like. I started with a plan, yes, to get close because of your story. But it became real. Tears glistened in his eyes. I fell for you. Torn, I walked away, the city fog mirroring my confusion. Days blurred into sleepless nights, weighing emotions against ethics. Friends advised cutting ties. My heart rebelled. Society's gaze added pressure. Gay relationships under scrutiny. Class divides amplifying judgments. Isolation set in after the confrontation. I threw myself into work, revising my exposé with renewed vigor, anonymizing sources to protect them and myself. Tate's texts flooded my phone. Apologies, please for another chance. Let me prove it's genuine, one read. Ignoring them hurt, but self-preservation demanded it. San Francisco's vibrant queer community became my refuge. At a support group for LGBTQ professionals, I shared my story anonymously. Responses varied. Some sympathized with the pull of forbidden love. Others condemned the power imbalance. Rich heirs think they can buy affection, one member said. It sparked debates. Was manipulation forgivable if love evolved? Meanwhile, Tate's world unraveled publicly. Leaks, possibly from my research, hit the news. Harrington Ventures under federal investigation for data privacy violations targeting marginalized groups. Protests erupted outside their headquarters, chants echoing through Financial District. I watched from afar, guilt mingling with vindication. A mutual friend, Ethan, bridged the gap. Tate is a mess, he confided over lunch. He's challenging his father, pushing for reforms. Skeptical, I probed, is this damage control? Ethan shrugged. Maybe both, but he's changed because of you. Temptation struck when Tate appeared at my doorstep, rain-soaked, holding a folder. Proof, he said. Inside, documents showing his internal pushback against discriminatory policies. Emails resigning from the board if changes weren't made. I did this for us, for what's right. Vulnerability cracked my resolve. We talked for hours, dissecting motives, rebuilding trust tentatively. But society pushed back. My article published, naming no names but implicating firms like Harrington's. Backlash ensued. Online trolls accused me of bias due to my personal vendetta. Tate's family disowned him temporarily, citing the scandal. You're choosing a journalist over legacy? His father thundered in a leaked call. Our reunion was fraught with tension. Dates became clandestine, avoiding paparazzi drawn to the drama. In quiet moments, we explored emotions. His fear of abandonment, my trust issues from familial rejection. We're both outsiders in our ways, Tate said, holding me. Bonds strengthened through adversity, but controversies swirled. A pivotal conflict arose at a town hall on tech ethics. I spoke on a panel criticizing corporate overreach. Tate attended incognito, but was recognized. Chaos erupted, accusations of infiltration. He's here to spy, someone yelled. I defended him. People can change. The room divided, mirroring broader societal rifts on redemption. Post-event, we argued fiercely. You put me in the spotlight, I accused. I came to support you, he retorted. Reconciliation followed, but scars remained. Friends like Mia distanced themselves. He's toxic, Jamie. Class privilege blinds him. Deeper issues surfaced. Tate's internalized homophobia from his upbringing. My resentment toward wealth. Therapy sessions, individual and joint, unearthed these, fostering growth. Yet, external pressures mounted. A rival journalist outed our relationship in a gossip column, framing it as Heir'S honey trap for hush-up. Public opinion split. Some romanticized it as a modern fairy tale. Others decried it as manipulative. Social media buzzed with hashtags like Airgame and Journalist Trap, fueling debates on power dynamics in gay relationships. The climax hit with Reginald Harrington's ultimatum. In a lavish family estate in Hillsborough, Tate faced his father. End it with that reporter, or lose everything. I waited in the city, anxious. Tate returned defiant. I chose you. Disinherited, he moved into my modest No Valley apartment, trading luxury for love. Adjustment was rocky. Tate struggled with budgeting, job hunting in nonprofits. This is humbling, he admitted. I supported him, but resentment brewed. You had it all and threw it away? Our arguments intensified, exposing raw emotions. I did it for us, he shouted. Or for your conscience? I countered. Societal scrutiny amplified. A podcast interview I did went viral, discussing the ethics of dating sources. Callers debated. Is love blind to manipulation? One accused me of exploiting Tate for scoops. Defending our story, I emphasized choice. We navigated deception to find truth, but truth fractured further. Digging deeper for a follow-up article, I discovered Tate's initial game was more calculated. Hired investigators to profile me, knowing my vulnerabilities. Confronted, he broke down. I was desperate to protect the family, but meeting you changed everything. Betrayal reignited. How can I trust anything? I demanded. He left temporarily, staying with Ethan. Solitude forced reflection. Was forgiveness possible? Therapy helped, but the wound festered. Reconciliation attempts faltered. At a neutral cafe, Tate proposed, "Let's start over. No games." Tempted, I hesitated. External forces intervened. A job offer for me in New York, promising distance from the drama. "Take it," Mia urged. Fresh start. Torn between love and self-respect, I agonized. Tate's reforms at a new startup focused on ethical tech inspired hope. "I'm building something good," he shared. Visits resumed, cautious. A public reckoning came at a TEDx talk on redemption. Tate spoke candidly about his past, crediting me for his awakening. The audience applauded, but skeptics booed. Backstage, we embraced, "We're in this." Yet, doubts persisted. As pressures peak, decisions loom large. Resolution dawned gradually. With Tate's support, I declined the New York offer, committing to San Francisco and us. We co-founded a nonprofit advocating for LGBTQ rights in tech, channeling our experiences into change. Hurdles remained. Family reconciliations tentative, public opinions divided. Years passed, our bond solidified through trials. Tate regained some inheritance through merit, but prioritized ethics. I continued journalism, unbiased. Our story became a beacon for discussions on power, deception, and love. Reflecting, the journey taught that relationships thrive on honesty, not games. Yet, controversies lingered. Did Tate's initial manipulation taint everything? In the end, was it true love, or just a well-played illusion?